Welcome back to the channel. Today I've uploaded quite a few different videos talking about stuff like speech and charisma, talking about combat, talking about things I wish I'd known sooner. And today, to finish off, I have two more videos. This one is about the maps and looking at how big they are, points of interest, perks to do with the map and stuff like that. So if you don't want to be spoiled on either of the maps, please do click away. I appreciate you. Go check out some of the other videos. And the second video later is going to be about stealth, so enjoy that when it comes up. I'm in the first part of the world, Trosky Castle, Trosky, which I can never pronounce. And you can see over here on the right hand side where I am is the travel to the next area. So this is where you can go backwards and forwards between the Kuttenburg region and the first area. I don't know what the first area is called. I'm just going to call it Trotsky. So yeah, we have all of this map, as you can see. It's a very big map. Before we look at it in close though, there are ways to track the things that you want to track. So you can untrack all and it wipes off everything on the map. So let's just say you just want to look at fast travel destinations and your beds, you can do that. You have to zoom in a little bit to see where your beds are, but you can pretty much just make the map be how you want it to be. I have also found as well though that tracking everything doesn't really mess up the map or anything. It doesn't make it look crazy. Like it's discernible. You can look through things and see things. Wow, I'm red-faced in Apollonia. I've only just noticed that. Each town has a reputation faced by them, so you can see where you're liked and where you're not liked. I'm pretty much liked everywhere because I'm cool as hell. But I'm not going to go through every single one of these points of interests, but I will show a few of them to kind of show you what's going on. And the reason why I have all these points of interest is a map perk. And that map perk is Explorer under Scholarship, and you get it at Scholarship level 18. So it's going to be a while till you actually get this perk. Before then, the map is covered in grey clouds. Wherever you walk to, wherever you reach, the clouds will dissipate and open up for you on the map. I pretty much had the entire first map open, and then I got the perk and it showed me the points of interest on the map. So you'll probably get the map cleared, open, ready to go, and then you'll get the points of interest. So there are a lot of things to be looked at. You've got all different hunting areas, so deer hunting spots, roe hunting spots, there's wolves, there's rabbits, there's everything everywhere. Some of the points of interest that I've gone to is like an unfinished cottage. I think when I went here I found like a treasure map, I believe, so it's worth going and checking out all of these things. I haven't yet because I've just been making videos like crazy. There's things like cemeteries where you can go and you can like steal a spade. Spades are very important for this game. Well, not very important, but they do help with digging up fresh graves, and there are a few side quests where you may need one. You got apple orchards, benches, boar hunting spots, so there's a lot to be had. There's wells. I don't even know what the wells do, but it points them out as a point of interest, so it's definitely worth looking at. Abandoned camps usually don't have anyone in, but sometimes you might find a bandit here or there. You might find like a skeleton with some loot on, so there's a reason to just go and check everything out. Cave under Trotsky I haven't gone to yet, but I do want to. I've just never got around to it. It's pretty cool. So we'll take a quick look around at some of the points of interest over on this side of the map, because there's a few fun ones, like the poachers camps and stuff. These are poachers obviously illegal. There's a few side quests where you'll have to go find the poachers and either kill them or arrest them, send them to the bailiff, and like it shows you where those poachers camps are with the map perk that we have. If you don't have the map perk, it will not be there and you'll have to run into the forest and find it. So it's a pretty cool perk to have, but it's actually a lot of fun trying to find things as well while you are just playing the game normally. There's things like washed up chests, you've got booze stashes, you've got a dug up corpse, you've got graves in places. There's just a lot of stuff for you to go and do, just little side things here and there for you to go and check out. So let's just first and foremost go down to this little section here, the Vidlak Pond. You're going to come across very small little settlements that don't really have much in. You might get like one side quest, so it's worth going over there, but you're not going to get too much from the smaller settlements. I mean, there's a couple of places I haven't really even gone to fully. Here's a skill trainer, which I believe is about survival and hunting. You can learn things. There's archery ranges, so you can have an archery contest. There's just so much fun stuff on the map. But let's look at a few of the towns. Actually, let's just zoom out first and you can kind of see how big the map is, which is quite big. And Kuttenburg's bigger, so I spent about 40 hours give or take, in the first area, and I didn't even finish off everything. So, you know, see, I've got a few extra quests, a few new activities and stuff to do. So let's start with Trosky. This is where you first start in the game. It's relatively medium sized in comparison to a lot of the other towns, but there's a lot jammed in here because obviously it's your introductory town. You know, you've got the tailors, which you can go and get your cloth stuff repaired or buy them or steal them. You know, you first learn about laundry here. There's a butcher for you to buy food for yourself and for your dog. There's a lot of stuff here, you know, like a sharpening wheel, which you won't need off the bat realistically, but if you wanted to get a sharper weapon and do a slight bit more damage, it's there. You know, you've got dice over here, you've got the inn, you've got an indulgence chest so you can reset your reputation, a scribe which has a lot of books available for you to read, so you can either steal from him or buy them, and it will start getting your speech up, and charisma can be put to use as well in this section. And also as well, the scribe has the DLC riddle that leads to the DLC armor, so definitely worth checking out. There's an alchemy bench here for you to learn about that. You've got drying racks all over the place. So yeah, there's also a nice little bed in this place here. So, you know, if you're looking for a bed and you don't want to pay the inn, there's a bed here that rarely gets used and you won't get stopped for using it. So check that out. It's a nice starting town. I really do like it. Now, I don't want to spoil too much. I just kind of wanted to show the size and a couple of towns. You know, you've got Zelezhov, which you're going to end up at some point close to the start of the game. This is slightly smaller than Trosky, and you're basically just going to pass through here, come back for some side quests here and there, but you will probably end up here, which is basically just an inn with some lodgings. But I found myself in this area a lot, especially because there's an inn here where you can repeatedly lockpick some chests, which I'm gonna have another video on, so watch out for that. One of the most fun places in the first part of the map is the nomads camp. You can get here through a side quest where you can either fight or back up some humans, and if you back them up, they'll bring you to the nomads camp. So you can go here and you can check this out. There's a lot of just skill trainers and stuff you can do here, shops, trading. There's a place here where you can learn fighting skills as well. This is a great place. And also horse handler, so this is where you're first, unless you go through the main story, this is where you're first going to meet anything, can learn anything to do with horses. And this fella here, the horse handler Mikolai, has a horse black market, so you can take any horse to him and make that horse your own. If you want to do all side quests and stuff before continuing the story and you want a horse, this is the place to go. I'm gonna have a video on that as well. And then Trosky Castle is where you're going to spend a lot of time on quests and main story quests and stuff. And this castle, even though it doesn't look very big, has different floors to it. There is so much to be found in this castle. It's unbelievable. I probably spent a good, I'd say about 15 hours in this castle, as well as this is your first ever like blacksmith implication into the game. So this is where you first see blacksmithing and learn about that too. But this is part of the main story. So, you know, you'll end up here through the main story. So if you just want to run through that, you can, and you'll end up being at this castle. There's a lot here to be done, a lot of good story as well. This is my favorite place in the first map. So I'm not going to show everything because I do feel like people should experience for themselves, but you can see the map pretty good, pretty big. There's a few settlements. They seem small, they seem medium sized, but there's a lot to do. Now let's head over to Kuttenburg. So I'm about 75 hours in now, but a lot of that has been recording videos as well. So I'd say typically probably about 65 hours, maybe a little bit more. I haven't really done anything in the second half of the game yet. I've run around to most of the towns just to get the fast travel destinations, but there is so much more in the second map. It's probably about a third bigger than the first map, but there's also a lot more towns within the area, a lot more settlements. And so far I've probably seen like one side quest mission in every area, so it's definitely a much more involved version of this game. Like you can see right here, there is so much in this one little town over here on the left. You know, there's an inn, there's all these smokehouses, there's a bathhouse I believe here as well. You got blacksmithing, herb gardens, laundry. You can see that there's a lot more buildings. However, I found that a lot of this area is kind of pointless, so far at least for me. So it looks nice, it's pretty, it's fun to run around and search and look for chests to lockpick and stuff, but essentially you're just gonna spend most of your time here when you're here in this small little area, and maybe the blacksmithing. But still Very impressive. By the way, these are the grey clouds I was talking about that cover the map. I do have the map revealed, but for some reason it's still around the edge. Maybe there's an invisible wall there that I can't get through anyway. So we have Devil's Den. This is where you kind of first appear in the second half of the game, and it's basically just an inn, but you're gonna have a lot of main stories running through this area. You know, there's dice here, and there's a good inn, and there's like, I think probably about 12 of my main quests so far have passed through this area. It's also where if you want to, you know, send Mutt back to an inn and just not have him around you, he'll go back here, so you can go pick him up at any time. This has been my favorite place so far because there's just so much activity that runs through that little area. Again, you can see the reputation, and because I've just got here, I haven't had a chance to build up my reputation yet. So like Grund is a much smaller area for where the things that are like available to you are in a smaller area, but obviously as well on top of that, you just have a lot of real estate here, a lot of buildings that you don't particularly need to go into, but they are fun to go into. So it just seems like there's more towns, slightly bigger, but with slightly more things that I don't want to say are pointless, but in terms of, you know, the game and where you are and what you want to do, there's a lot of like real estate that you're not really going to go to. Then obviously we'll look at Kuttenburg in a second, but I also wanted to look at Sigismund's camp. Now this is the first area that I've seen that is absolutely populated to the teeth. There are just like whole bunches of different soldiers, you know, fighting for the same quote-unquote cause, that are all located in this area. There's a few main story missions that go through this area, and there's also Musa of Mali. You first meet him here in this area. I'm also gonna have a video about Musa of Mali and the dialogue options when you first meet him, because I feel like it's important just to show what his character is like, because there's been so much controversy surrounding him. So this has been my favorite area so far. Now the big boy place, which I haven't gone to yet, over here you can see just how much bigger this map is. Kuttenburg. So let's zoom in on Kuttenburg as best we can and then go around it. I'm actually very pumped and excited to get here, just for the simple fact that there are so many houses for me to enter and try to steal stuff. We have a combat area, you know, there's new quests over here in this area. I'm actually just going to zoom out a little bit. We have a quest tipster, so you know they lead you towards a quest. Point of interest tipster, but you know most point of interests are open, so that's going to help me find something, but I could probably naturally find it anyway. There's a weaponsmith, which I'm excited to go and see what kind of weapons they have, even though I can craft weapons that are pretty much better than most of the things you can find and buy. My main quests are starting to run through here now. We have, you know, traders, we have armorers, tailors, blacksmith, sharpening, cobblers, which I've never found a use for yet so far. I know they sell horse stuff as well, but you know, this town looks incredible. I can't wait to get here, and you can just see how massive it is, you know, but I'm happy to go there soon and see what it's about. So yeah, those are the maps. I don't want to show every town, every little thing, but they're sizable. There's a lot in both of them. I feel like the first kind of map is just about you exploring the world and you know, seeing the beautifulness of the game that they have created, and then the second one is more lived in, more populated, makes you feel more immersed into the game, but there's also a lot of things that aren't really necessarily worth going around and looking at in each town, but each town has a significant thing to go and do. So you know, I'm very excited for people to play this game. I love it so much. In fact, I'm probably gonna stop covering the game in the second half of the world, the Kuttenburg area, because of the simple fact that I think people should enjoy this game without it being spoiled or anything like that. The only kind of videos I might upload here is if there's a quest that something's really difficult to find, because there's one in the first area as well. So, you know, I might upload a guide for that. If there's any like treasures or hidden maps or things like that, those are the sorts of things I'll upload for the second half. But yeah, I hope you're looking forward to this game, because it's magnificent, and I hope you play it and enjoy it and play it a lot, because it's definitely worth your time. And that's nothing to do with the fact that I had early access, because when I first started this game, I was like, oh, this is going to be good for content, it's going to get me some decent views on YouTube, I'm going to earn some money. But when I started playing it, I just fell in love with it. I absolutely fell in love with it. I didn't really play the first one because it was around at a time when I was playing other games and doing other things, so I didn't have time to kind of invest in. But I'm so happy I got to play this game. I would easily put this in my top 10 games of all time. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching. I've been easynow. You guys have been awesome.